being, available at any time. But now I just feel so free. There's just this like freeing feeling, in a good way that I'm.
And her, she says she feels free. That means she's free to do whatever she wants to, which means resorting herself to being free. Do she mean this kind of free? I think that's what she means. But let's continue on with the interview.
I have all this spare time. I have all these opportunities that I can work on, figure it out. What's my next move, and just spending that quality time with, my fiance, with family. I'm able to go up to New York whenever and see my family. So it's just been nice. And for 7 years, I was obviously very blessed and grateful for everything the last 7 years being in WWE. But it's just the traveling and the crazy, on call for anything, and it's hard to plan trips. It's hard to plan things, obviously, because you always have to be available. So that's the cool feeling, I'd say.
So it's a cool feeling because I know it. I've been there. I've lived that, but it is also an odd feeling. And maybe it seems like you did handle yourself better than I did, because you kind of just got right into work. You obviously had stuff going on the back burner. You had some stuff to kind of jump into right away. But that feeling of like, oh, what do I do with this free time? Now what do I do with that? Like, I can be a little bit neurotic when it comes to stuff like that. Did you ever have moments of the, what am I doing? Where do I have to be? I don't just have an app to look at that tells me where to be and what I need to do. Did you have like a weird adjustment with that?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean by that. And I feel like it might not have hit me yet totally, because it's still kind of fresh. And like you said, I am still, kind of busy doing stuff. But there was one day, like last week, I think it was, when I was like, okay, this is a little weird. Like I got up, I was, enjoying my coffee and just kind of futzing around in my sweat still. And I'm like, this is nice. But I'm like, I have like nothing to do today, like no plans, not like, not even a phone call, nothing. I'm like, this is a little weird. Like, I don't know. And I think it's normal to have those moments, of course. Yeah. But I think it'll hit me a little bit more too as time goes on.
Sure. No, it is still so new. I mean, it was middle of December that everything went down, and you were like completely sidelined by this. Come in, find out you're going to be losing the title to Roxanne, and then it was the next day after that. Like, walk me through the whole thing of like what happened for you.
Yeah. So, completely surprised with everything. I went into work like a normal Tuesday for TVs, and I was told that the title match that was supposed to happen down the line, actually I think this weekend.
It was supposed to happen this weekend.
Yeah, tentatively tomorrow, I believe, at Vengeance Day was when it was supposed to maybe happen, but that was all up in the air. That's the only news I got as far as for the future. But so then it was said that we were gonna actually do the match tonight. That was about, I don't know, it was around like 2:00 or something when I was told. So you know how that is.
Okay, what were you like? What happened when they told you that? You're like, wait, what? Did you go to like creative right away, or like talk to Sean, or like were you like just like, wait, have plans just changed, or is something else up right now?
Well, right away I had the inclination that something was up, because I just, and everyone treated me so great at NXT. I had a great relationship with Shawn Michaels, the writers, the producers, everyone. So I was never like kept out of the loop either, being a champion for 413 days. It was obviously like I was in the loop with everything. I didn't really have many surprises like that. So it was very like, whoa, what, did I do something? What's going on? Obviously, I had some inclination because of what was going on social media and what was going on the night before. But it came from Shawn Michaels himself. So obviously I knew it was coming from, head of creative in that sense. So I knew that I didn't really have to go and try to seek other answers, even though I wanted other answers. But at that moment, I had to do my job and get planning, you know, our match and everything else that we had to do that night.
Were
But
you
I had to
emotional
make
going
money.
into that? Just being like, okay, shit's like, you felt like the rug's kind of pulled out from underneath you, just got cut out at the knees. That must have been really difficult to kind of get through that TV day and go through that match and just kind of like focus on the task at hand. All this other shit's going down.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, it was weird. In the moment, I was like, I felt like I was focused, and, you know, I always loved working with Roxanne. We had a good relationship. So like, that was good. And it actually went smooth the rest of the day. But in my mind, obviously, where I didn't kind of sell it, I didn't show it, I was like, this is so messed up. Like, what is going on? And I had, you know, multiple people coming up to me being like, what is going on? Obviously.
Oh,
well, you know, the elephant in the room.
What was Roxanne like all day? Because this was thrown on her as well.
Yeah, I felt bad because I felt bad for Roxanne because, you know, she's so amazing, and I really do love her as a person. And I feel like it was so exciting that you're winning anytime getting told you're going to win the title is very exciting. But I just felt bad because I felt like it was rushed. I felt like there was, you know, which it was rushed. There was no promotion leading up to it. She had just won the match as, you know, being the #1 contender. So we were going to build on that eventually. Long-term storytelling would, and it would be a really good, you know, feud in that sense. But I felt bad because it was just like thrown on her. And like, I know her like family would come to the shows, her sister I met and stuff. So it's like that she could have had at her family, you know, her family there. So it was just really rushed, and I just felt bad. But she handled it like, you know, a great professional woman that she is, and we just got it done, and she was obviously very happy, and we had a great match. So
okay, so the next day, that's when you get the phone call. They're like, hey.
Yes, the next day, which I was anticipating with how everything went down. I was making jokes about it actually the night before, because you know how we all are.
That's the only way to get through it. It's the only way to get through it. Yes.
It's the only way. Like, I was literally making jokes about it, and the girls were even like, oh my God, stop, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I'm like, it's not crazy. But yeah, I got a call, I don't know, around like 11 or something, and you know that 203 number.
Sure do.
When it comes in, it's gonna be either really good or really bad. No. But it's funny because I, obviously being from grew up in New York, I had some family in Connecticut. Like our cousin that's down here right now, who's doing a lot of work at our house, has like a 203 number. So like every time like I do get that, I'm like, ugh, whatever.
You get that jolt of like, oh God,
like,
who's calling me? Where do I need to be? Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I got that call, and they said what they said, you know. They had to release me because of this situation, but I didn't really get much info, so that was kind of it. And yeah, I was actually staying at Indy Hartwell's house, Sam, and because I stay there sometimes, we became really close, and she was upstairs getting ready for TV because I haven't told anyone this story actually, but she was upstairs getting ready because we had to do a double taping that day, and that's why I stayed. And I was like, Indy, I was like, I just got fired, and she's like all the way upstairs. She's like, what? She's like, shut the, like, no way, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm serious. And you know that like at first you're just like, you kind of like laugh a little bit because you don't know whether you want to laugh or you want to cry.
Yes.
So, and it was like a gut punch, but then I was like, okay, well now I need to really think about this and, you know, handle this, whatever. But
crazy. Okay, so all those things being said, you go through that emotional roller coaster, and it is that